Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Just a Recording podcast, where we have conversations with individuals that think differently and challenge the status quo with success and valuable lessons. I am your host, Patrick Moen, and thank you so much for tuning in. This week, we have a fire episode with you with somebody that is just the master at manifesting. He is just really taken his career to a whole new level in this last year, and I think has a really interesting story in how he shows up, what he's been through, going to jail, being arrested, and really kind of being an outlier, from Persian descent and, really kind of being something that really hasn't been done before of, being a spoken word hip hop artist through positive vibrations. And so this week's guest is none other than the Persian poet Jiaani, and I think you're going to really enjoy this episode because it really just shows the light of operating in such a habit of be, do, have. I think hip-hop artists really have mastered the art of be, do, have, and they have the ability to just be the person that they want to become. They do the things that are going to help them become that person, and then they get the things that they are manifesting or they aspire to acquire. And I just think if you are into spirituality, if you are into music, if you are into just words and speaking those words into existence, you are going to love this episode. So let's get into it. But before we do, what I want you to do is go ahead and check out my website, maverickbusinesselevation.com. Go ahead and let me know what you think. I want to hear if you know anybody that might need my services. Really what we do is we're an outsourced COO that we come in and we help businesses run and, really help them strengthen within inside their organizations. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, fam. Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Just the Recording Podcast. I am your host, Patrick Moen. We got a great episode for you today. I am bringing you in with a gentleman I think that has impacted me since coming back to Raleigh. And I met him very much in the first couple weeks that I was living here. And this gentleman just exudes and just really has this aura about him when you meet him. And his story, I know just bits and pieces of it. I'm going to unpack it while we're learning here today, just about who he is, where he's come from, and what he's trying to do. But what I want to also say is there's a new breed of individuals, and he is paving this new path of his own as a hip-hop artist, as a father, just as a figure and a friend that is moving with spirituality and presence and the ability to manifest whatever it is that you want. So this is definitely an episode for you to kind of listen into. So with that, I'm going to introduce my man Jiaani, the Persian poet.
My man, thank you.
Yeah.
We corona free on this side.
Yeah.
Corona free.
We can shake hands.
Yeah, we can shake hands. We got to get like hand sanitizer though after this shit.
Go scrub them.
Right.
And you just celebrated a birthday.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was like, how should I do this? And I wanted to, I was like, should I do it before the pod or should I do it during the pod? So I got you a little gift. Go ahead, you can open it up because it's there's two little things in there.
Okay. Oh man.
So
you setting the tone for these other podcasters. Sheesh. Oh man, can't never go wrong with something that feels like this.
So I feel like what you do. Don't lose the page. So there's something in that's blocking that page. So what you do and how your music just speaks.
Beautiful.
And it's not spoken word. It's not hip hop. It's a storytelling in a way that just makes you feel it in your soul. You feel it in your core.
Yeah.
And I was in the store. I love this store. It's Renew Raleigh. They have like a lot of they have sage and they have all these like spiritual kind of knickknacks and gifts. And I came across this book and I literally opened it up to this page right here. And I read passage number 15 and breezed through that real quick because it talks about love. And so the book is 1,001 essays that will change the way you think. And I think that's what you're doing with your music.
Unconditional. The foundation of a happy relationship and life is unconditional kindness. It's synonymous with love and maybe even more effective because it shows you the action as opposed to the feeling or expectation. That's strong. That's very strong.
And then, so what's holding the page is a little bit of Palo Santo. So it's my favorite. I don't like to use sage.
Yeah.
I like to use Palo Santo.
Man.
And so, anyway, happy birthday, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. That's very thoughtful and very beneficial.
Yeah, so it's not like a book that you just dive into and read.
I didn't want to crumble it up by the mic, make it sound crazy.
Yeah, but it's something that, every day you just open it up and you read a certain passage. And
this is the type of reading I need right now, too.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. Very dope gift, man.
Absolutely.
Very dope, my man. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
for
love.
sure.
That's love. And thank you for the introduction, too. That introduction was love, too. Thank you.
Yeah, I was thinking about how I wanted to introduce you and what I wanted to say, and I wanted to talk about just the influence in which I remember that first time where you and I met. It was at Christian's birthday party, and I knew of you.
Okay.
I saw you at the block party.
Okay.
And I saw just like, all right, who's this guy with the dope sneakers? And I watched the way that you were on the mic, that you were playing basketball, and how you were moving through, and just the way that you were like effortlessly going through and interacting with all types of individuals. I saw it, and I like gravitated towards it. Like I was like, I want to know him.
Oh.
And then a couple weeks later, we ended up at this breakfast, like brunch, like talking about Christian's birthday, and then we were rapping kind of after everything was, and it was like everything that you were saying was speaking to me, and I feel like vice versa. We were just having some really good conversation, and so you've made an impact on me, and I really appreciate what you're doing, not only for yourself but the people that you surround yourself with.
Man, appreciate that. That's love. That's love. Yeah, that was what was that, 2 years ago or a year ago?
Last year.
Last year, the Raleigh-Durham block party.
Right.
Yeah. Damn. That was a vibe. Their block parties are always like, and their CBJs are great as well.
Yeah.
Shop at Raleigh Raw.
Shop at Raleigh Raw.
Tell them I sent
Selfless plug.
Yeah, get a 2% discount if you mention my name. No,
you won't get the discount.
you probably won't. It's cool.
They'll charge you more.
Yeah, it's cool. Hopefully they don't. Yeah, it was dope, man. It was dope. That energy. I think, just the Raleigh Raw in general, so people kind of get the vibe of that. It's such a centerpiece for the city. And I think that was just a good way that it brought us together. It brings different walks of life into one space and allows something to grow from that, which hence, us here, So, and it's dope to meet people in spaces like that in general.
Right. Yeah, because it's very welcoming. It's not forced. Sure. It's very much an open environment for everyone to just be who they are, and love them how they show up.
That part. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about Jiaani and a little bit of, I think your story is crazy. And I haven't heard it directly from you. I've heard bits and pieces. Obviously, I know a little bit from what you've told me. But let's unpack a little bit about that, because I think it's forged the person who you are today. For sure. And I think there's a video that's being released that showcases a little part of your story next week.
Yes. So I am Jiaani. My name is actually Jian without the I. The I was added from my grandmother in Persian. My family is Persian. They came over here in the 70s when the revolution was happening in Iran. And my grandmother was the person who led the family. She came over and really speaking no English, bringing her 3 children over, no husband, not a lot of finances, and everyone called her crazy. And I think people like that are just amazing people to push culture and generations forward. Because I know she didn't come over here for no reason. She came over here to set the tone, So anyways, my name in Persian is Jian. Jian. And the I is added for endearment. Jiaani. So when she would see me, she's like, Jiaani. It's endearing.
Really?
Yeah. So prior to my rap name, I had another rap name prior to like 3 years ago.
Okay.
And when she passed, it was just like she was like my best friend. She raised me. Her and my aunt raised me. My mother wasn't in the picture as much, and so when she passed, I think it was one of those things where it's like it's time to start something new, time to really step into who I am and step into, you know, and yeah, that's what I did. My bad, I'm hopping all over the place.
No, you're good. So where were you born? You were born.
So I was born in Raleigh.
You were born in Raleigh. Okay.
We lived in Wilmington.
Yeah.
My father, he owned a business in Raleigh, and then he sold it. Actually, Armadillo Grill downtown Raleigh.
Yeah.
He used to own this grill there in the 90s called Safa's Grill. It used to be called Milk and More. Across the street from Milk and More is where the Milk Bar is right now.
Okay.
That used to be Pine State Milk. That whole building.
Yeah.
Right? That's why it's called the Milk Bar.
Yeah.
So it used to be a warehouse. So my father used to get milk for his convenience store from where the Armadillo Grill is there. So he used to call it Milk and More, like a convenience store.
Wow.
Then he changed it. He added the grill, Armadillo Grill, the way they had a ramp that goes up to the grill. My father added all of that. And then he changed it to Safa's Grill. And then he still owns the building, but he sold his business and we moved to Wilmington, and then he opened up another business. So I've always seen my father start from like nothing and then do it. And I think I get that from him. As of lately, I realized I think I get that from him.
Were you the first born in America?
Second. Yeah, we're first generation. My brother, Zaw, he owns a oil change inspection shop out here.
Okay.
So, and I guess the reason I'm still talking about things like that is ownership. I guess it's just like something that is embedded in the family to
or
own.
Entrepreneurship of like doing your own thing, making your own dollar, and not working for somebody else.
That's it right there.
Yeah. So, how was your upbringing in Raleigh?
Raleigh was beautiful. I'm gonna be honest. Raleigh was it was like us until about 8, 9 years old, and we was like 8 people in one house. It was like my aunt, my uncle, my father, my grandmother, me, and my cousin and my brother.
Yeah.
But you know, back then, and I think this is where we're kind of getting away from as people. Back then, having that many people in one house, in a Persian-speaking household, was like you always found love from somewhere.
Right.
Because if dad wasn't home, because he was rarely home, he was working.
Yeah.
And my auntie was in UNC dental school at the time, but grandma was home. You know, so I got to be around grandma a lot. And then if she wasn't around, then dad comes home. And, you know, you're always around some type of love.
Right. Most Persian families are like that. There's a lot of people that live at the house, right? Like a lot of families, like...
a lot of, like, overseas. I think it's like an overseas thing.
I would agree.
Right?
Yeah.
So then that was good. My mother wasn't in the picture except like every other weekends at the time. And we would go see her, and you know, a boy losing his mother, like not being around because she had issues with, like, I believe alcoholism, addiction, bad boyfriends, just wasn't making the right decision because her father wasn't in her life as well.
Right.
So we would go see her on the weekend. We would come back, and then we would I'd miss me personally would really be affected by it, you know, and to the point to where, you know, it'd be like crying excessively, like not having my mom, you know. So my grandmother and my aunt just served the purpose as two strong women that made me realize what women are supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Like, women are the foundation.
Same.
Period.
Right.
Without a strong woman, a man will never go as far as he could really go.
Yeah.
They taught me that.
Wow.
But okay, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna speed this shit up. I got a movie. My life is like a movie for real.
Yeah.
Which
that's
a lot
why I
of us
want to
are,
unpack
you know?
it. Yeah.
So we moved to Wilmington. My father wants to just move out of the house of everyone and be able to raise his children. No girlfriend, no any of that. We moved to Wilmington. He starts a business. I worked at this place called Stone Garden, where they independently would hire truck drivers to transport stones, like to people in Wilmington that building pools or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So he did that. We lived there for a while. Then around 12, me and my father started to clash. I really stepped out. I played basketball. I played football. I was, you know, and naturally being Persian in a place where nobody knows what the hell Persian is.
Right.
When you playing sports.
In Wilmington, North Carolina.
That shit
in the 90s.
Yeah,
like, nobody knows what a Persian is.
Like, what? What is that? What is that? So naturally,
what's that language you're speaking?
What is that? Is that they and people were crazy back then.
It's Farsi.
Yeah. They're like, what is that?
Yeah.
So we clashed a lot. So he told me, you know what? At 12, you know what? Go live with your mother. My mother lived in this place called Creedmoor, North Carolina, which is like 30 minutes from here.
Okay.
It was a culture shock.
Was it like a punishment, go live with your mother? Or?
Yeah, it was like we clashing. Fine. You always talking about you want to see your mom? Go live with her.
Okay.
You know, I've been with you long enough. I've done what I can. Go live with her.
Right.
All right. My mom at the time, and I don't want to bash her crazy, but just didn't have things together. Her husband, you know, had 4 children that he didn't really raise. So when I come in, he thinks this is his second time to raise a child, but I'm not your kid. And he was from like the country, you know, an older white man that doesn't know anything about my culture and what I've grown up in.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just kind of like around bigotry and things like that. And in this small space in Creedmoor, you're only white, black, or Mexican. And if you're Persian and you're around the urban crowd, they don't know what that is. They think you're a white dude trying to be something, you know, black or whatever.
Right.
So that was diverse. It was a lot. It was very diverse because in a town of 5,000 people, I stuck out. I was just stuck out. I was in trouble constantly. I was, you know, it was just bad.
Do you feel like in this area, because it wasn't evolved culturally, that you were always put in a circle that you didn't belong in? Yes. Like you were always put in all right, you're not white, so you're Mexican or you're black or, you know, they tried to put you with this other
you're
type of
never
culture.
White enough and you're never going to be black enough.
Right. Yeah.
Period.
So it's like, where do we put you?
Yeah. And you know, in places, because you lived in LA before, in places like LA, these things are like totally acceptable.
Yeah.
Because it's like a melting pot of cultures and people understand each other, give each other space.
Right.
It wasn't like that. It was very much culture shock.
Yeah.
And me and my mom clashed. It was bad. It was very bad. They ended up sending me to live in a group home because me and her, so I lived in a group home in Thomasville, North Carolina.
Okay.
For 2 years. It was called Mills Home.
You were 13?
No,
12?
at that time I was 15.
Okay.
Yeah, 15 to 17. Back, it was a year. Then I'd come live with my mom again, and I'd get in more trouble. And then they send me again.
What kind of trouble were you getting in at that age?
It was fights. It was nothing like really like drug related at the time. It was more so like fights, like just being around like guns a lot, like around like things that trouble in school, not really paying attention in school. I think I was just crying out for somebody to like let me express myself, and wherever I could go and feel like I could express myself, I would just project it, but it would always come back and backfire on me.
Right.
So I was in a group home. In the group home, it was intense, like the first 60 days, because of the program, like you can only go outside for like an hour. Like it was like jail. It was like conditioning for jail. And it was just weird and awkward, and once again, abandonment issues from my mother. It's like as soon as I get to trust you and, you know, you leave me again, you know,
right.
And it's your mother, you know? So, get out of the group home, and then I moved to Durham. I'm 18 in Durham. In Durham, I begin to meet people who are doing music. I already was freestyling in places. I always had that thing.
Really?
Like, yeah. Like 7 years old, to backtrack real quick, I got Puff Daddy and the Family, the album, at 7, right?
Wow.
So everyone in the house doesn't know what the fuck the parental advisory means. So I'm downstairs listening to, you know, what you want to do. You want to be ballers, shot callers, brawlers. And I'm in the mirror when everybody goes to sleep, and I'm rapping and shit. Throw my hat on, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, really like doing this shit. The only one who knew was my brother.
Yeah.
And my brother loved it because his first album was like Aaliyah, shit, like he liked R&B.
Okay.
But when I would listen to like the gangster rap, he would kind of fuck with it. And he put me on a lot of like Sublime, 311.
You still listen to 311?
Oh hell yeah, Dave Matthews Band.
Shit.
I love Dave Matthews Band. I'm cultured. Like
Damn.
Steve Miller Band.
Yeah.
The Eagles.
You threw me a curveball with 311. I was like, all right, we got some
my
shit
brother,
to catch
shout out
up
to my
on.
brother. Yeah, my brother was fucking Sublime. Was like I fuck with them. You know, they had that dope sound. You know what I mean? And then I go to Durham, and then I really start to get focused on music. I meet this guy, and he's a rapper from the area, and we just click. So then we start moving on that accord, and then I go to jail. I get caught another issue with a gun, and it was like a big thing. And then God like put me in a situation to sit down for a while, and come out of it and really see like, damn, like this is not what I'm supposed to be doing.
So you've been getting in trouble previously with police, so it wasn't just like you got caught with a gun and you go to jail. You had been screwing up and messing around with the wrong people and the wrong crowd.
No doubt about it.
And so how long did you go to jail for?
So the first time I went for a month. The second time I went for 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which jail?
Durham County.
Oof.
Yeah, Durham.
What year was this?
2008 and 9.
Man. What was it like?
And 12.
Getting sentenced, like going to court and then getting sentenced. Like, how does that affect your mindset and like what it is that you've been doing, and then really kind of putting you in your place? Because I'm assuming you came out of jail with a different perspective of like, I gotta stop fucking around.
Hell yeah.
So, what, like, I've never been arrested. I've never been locked up. Like, I can't imagine what that could feel like, and then having to be sentenced to jail twice.
Yeah.
How does that affect your state of mind?
The first time it was bad because I was like a boy thinking I was a man. Mm-hmm. So I mean, luckily God is just, he travels with me so much. Like I didn't get into a fight until my last 3 nights before I'm leaving.
On your first time?
Yeah. So like I'm about to leave, and 3 nights before, somebody I was cool with the whole time, and we were playing cards and got into an argument. Testosterone is high,
right?
And I got into a fight with him. And what's crazy is, this is how I know God is with me all the time. He was a lot bigger than me, and we got into the fight, and I would say he got me. But the next day, the dude who was like a big brother of mine in there, when he found out that we got into a fight, went to check him. So they got into a big fight. Like it was a huge, like these dudes were both like at the time had like men's strength. So I'm watching him, and the guy that is my man, he ends up getting like beat up by this dude. But I just fought the same dude last night, and it wasn't nowhere near as bad. Like I got my hits in, and he got his hits in, and then we just left it alone. Yeah. You know, like it was like, all right. And we, and then we spoke the next morning. It was cool. We let it rock. I just had like one little knot on my head. It wasn't bad. So that day I was like, how did that happen?
So your homie that went in to check him got fucked up.
Yeah, he was in shape. He was a fighter. I don't know if like the dude maybe, I don't know. But yeah, this is true shit. Like, and I'm not saying that to say like I didn't. It just, I know God had me in some way. Right. But I was supposed to feel that too though, Yeah. So at that time I'm 20 at the time. And I meet this guy named Q. Q was a hitman from Harlem, New York. He was bald-headed. And actually there's a rapper in Burlington, North Carolina that I think Q is his uncle, O. Holiday. Shout out to O. Because when I mentioned Q on Facebook one time, he was like, yo, that's my uncle. He was a hitman from Harlem. Everybody was scared of him. He was in jail facing life, but jail is like a holding cell before you go to either prison or you get out.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I didn't have any books, and he had a whole lot of books. And I always do this thing, man, where like when I walk in the room with people that everyone else is deeming as like intimidating, I just like I want to like fill them out. You know what I mean? So I went to him and I'm like, yo, what's up, man? You got all them books. I know you're not reading them every day. And he was like, what? Like, he was thrown off by me. And like, I think being around so many coaches and things like that, I was able to figure out how to maneuver, how to talk to him. Mm-hmm. And I was like, whoa, chill out. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean it like that. But what I'm saying is I don't have any books. You got a lot of books. I was hoping to be able to get one from you. He said, that's a cool message. Next time, learn how to deliver it the right way. And he was like, and yeah, you could definitely get a book. So he grabs a book called Hell Up in Harlem. What's the name of the book? I don't know why he picked that. He gave me the book. Before I could take the book away, he was holding it. And he looked me in the eyes and said, listen, I don't play about my shit. And he said, so if you're going to read this book, read it diligently as fast as you can. And don't mess up anything in my book. Bring it in the same way I'm giving it to you. And I'm like, all right, looking away. He's like, look at me. You hear me? I said, I hear you. So I read the first book, 3 days, brought it back to him. Everything was perfect. And you could tell he respected me for that. And he was like, yo, what you think about the book? He's opening up to me. Yeah. I was like, it's crazy. It's about a woman who got raped. It's just an unfortunate story. He was like, you want another one? I was like, yeah. Next one was The Art of Seduction. Read that like a week because I really wanted to go back and hear everything. And then he gave me The Law of Attraction. Yeah. And that did it. And then a week later, I got out. And before I got out, he told me like, yo, my father wanted me to go to the military, but the military wouldn't let me in because of my tattoos. And I already had a record. So my father's like, man, you got to figure out what to do. He drives tow trucks at the time. He came back to Raleigh, opened up a tow truck business. I'm telling you, he's all over the place.
Hustle.
Yeah, he's definitely. So he's like, all right, well, then you're going to ride with me and learn this business. So I'm riding with him for like 2 months, maybe longer. I really don't know how long it was.
Yeah.
And just that shit is whack. It's not me. I'm not doing it. So I tell my aunt. So I go to Greensboro, have 2 children, have the first child. Then I moved to Charlotte. Sleeping on the floor of my homegirl's house. Her name was KK. Sleeping on the floor in her crib trying to pursue rap. I'm like, I got out of jail. I'm about to be a rapper. This was like 23. And I remember my Caden, my oldest son, his mother called and said, I'm laying down, and she said, do you want to keep dreaming about living or living out your dream? Do you want to keep dreaming about living or living out your dream? And that shit hit me. I was sleeping till like 3 o'clock. So she let me move in with her. I moved back to Greensboro. My son is on the way. I'm living in her house with her dad, her mom. Then I get a job doing sheetrock, pulling sheetrock off of. I got to be there at 4:30. I get fired from every job I've ever worked. This is right. I worked there for 2 months. They fired me. They're like, look, man, you a cool dude. This ain't really your thing. I was like, I agree. Yeah. You know, but my baby had just been born. You know what I mean? So I'm sick. I'm 3 months into being around the baby every night. And then, I talked to my aunt and I said, I want to come back home to Raleigh and I want to go to Barber School. Right? Come home. There's 2 barber schools in the area. I'm not going to mention both of them. Well, I'll say the one that I went to. Cheryl's University. I was supposed to go to the other one. In the last minute, Cheryl's brought me in. There's an owner. Her name is Miss Short, Wanda Short. I love her. She takes me in. She says, you can start school. When I go in, I'm just leaned in my chair, real like, my aunt is like, be presentable. Like, what are you doing? This lady, I feel like she could see straight through me. Mm-hmm. So anyways, the next day I start school. We're in this thing called Inspiration. She used to do Inspiration every morning where she would talk to us about, I am this. And I used to think this is the corniest shit in the world. Like, why are we doing this? But every day, I am going to be great. It would be things like, increase my boundaries. I'm stepping into who I am. And I'd be like, this is whack. But every day, and then I started believing it. Right? That second day, we got an Inspiration. I got a call from the other barber school that was like, yo, man, just let you know we accept you. And I'm like, man, I'm already at the school. But this school I went to, everyone was like, don't go to because you're actually going to have to do work. But God knew what I needed. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So me and this lady build a rapport. She becomes like a mother figure to me. Wanda Short, she's still here. She still owns the school. She moved locations. And she owns these shops out here called Billionaires Barbershop. And in Billionaires Barbershop, I worked with her sons for about 6 to 7 years. Until one day I said, I'm going to really focus on rap. And next year I'm going to be traveling for music. And next year I'm going to step into what I'm supposed to do. Right? So the next year I did. Finances started coming from different areas and different places that I was able to start investing into myself. And I'll save the rest because that was a lot. So I'm going to let you.
No, yeah. I think you covered a lot. I mean, so your second son was born how long after Caden?
Caden was born in 2010 and Carson was born in 2012.
Okay.
And that was right when I was going into the barbershop. So I already haven't been able to take care of one son.
Right.
Like financially, like I need to because I'm in barber school.
Right.
I mean, I'm doing little things here and there, but it's not enough for her. Mm-hmm. Right. And now I go take a weekend trip with Miss Short and her family to the mountains. I'm sick the whole weekend. Like, why? As we're leaving, Carson's mom calls me and tells me I'm pregnant. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to start the barbershop on Tuesday. Like, I'm trying to get myself together with this other son. You already know I'm not in good position. And she's like, well, I don't know what to tell you, but we're having a baby.
Oof. Mm. Are you still close with both the boys' moms?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think naturally we go through those ups and downs where it was tough for the first year, and I would always point the finger. And I think nowadays I learned to just look within and be like, it was just my shortcomings that they were trying to, Caden's mom really was the hardest to deal with. And she, now looking back though, she's who like got me focused.
Yeah, she pushed you.
Because of the things that she was saying. I didn't want to feel like that. Like, what? I'm not that person. Like, hold on, I'm better than that.
Yeah.
You know, so you feel that thing to go get better. I want to go get better. I don't want you to be able to say anything about me. Let me be the best.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's a tough, like, your dad pushing you out, going to stay with your mom basically sending you to not a boarding school, but
it's a group home.
Yeah,
it's a real group home.
Right.
Yeah.
And then going to jail twice.
Yeah.
Were you like in the gang scene when you were kind of in between when you were going to jail, or were you just in the wrong place, wrong time, doing the wrong thing?
Nah, I was always my own man. Like I always was cool with both sides of both of the gangs that I grew up around, Bloods and Crips.
Right.
I was always cool with both sides. I would have like kind of learned the way they operate, take notes of things, but never really it never really was. I always looked at it like it was a California thing. Because I was cultured. I knew about California. I had cousins in California through marriage that we would go out there and I would see them. And through movies and, people you meet. And I'm like, man, it's not a us thing. So I never got into it because I felt like, and that's no disrespect to the people that are, you're in for different reasons. But for me, it didn't make sense. Yeah. My brother, I wouldn't want to be like, my brother would probably joke on me to be like, yo, you're the first Persian, like, gang member. Like, you're a Blood or a Crip. Like, what are you doing? Right. So that wasn't, not saying it might be Persian, Crips and Bloods. I don't know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't my thing. How
was your relationship with your parents when you were getting sentenced to go to jail? Was your father shunning you or like? Yeah. Yeah. What about your mom?
Interesting enough is that's when my mom shows up. She shows up in those spaces because she feels like that's probably the only help she can do. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Do you think she realized that was the time that you needed it the most and that's why she showed up?
Could be. Yeah.
And your dad moved back to Raleigh after a point in time, right?
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So is there a time when you can look back and go, this is when I changed. This is when I realized that all this stupid shit that I was getting involved in wasn't for me and I was here for something better? Or do you think it was a slow evolving?
Slow still.
Yeah.
Still to this day. I make mistakes still that I get disappointed in myself that I know better than to do. I think when you're going for something that's big, sometimes we go into these spaces where we start doubting or we allow others' fears of whatever they have going on in their flaws to project on us, and our parents do it the most. Mm-hmm. And I think we sometimes believe them, and then we go into these spaces where it's uncomfortable, and then we start making bad decisions. And then we have to get back to playing like how we play and knowing that we are images and extensions, like Reef was talking about, like of God, and we are only here to shine. That's it. And the shine comes from work, dedication, being lonely for a while, because they add distractions to really throw us off from what the fuck we're supposed to be doing.
Right.
So yeah.
So when you first thought about wanting to be a hip hop artist, right, a rapper, was your identity tied with that of like, I shouldn't be doing this? Like, did you ever question yourself of like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm Persian and I don't really fit in. Like, where do I see myself in this community of hip hop artists?
I never really gave a fuck. I never really gave a fuck because I never saw myself. I always knew I was different, but I played basketball like a black person. I played football like a black person. Like, right. I'm not saying that they play better, but predominantly they fucking play better.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, God didn't want me to say that. Is it okay? Cool. Hey. My bad. So let me retract everything. Keep that in there, but I retract with my statements. Sorry. But so I always was different, but I didn't give a fuck. That was what was different about me and my family. Yeah. My family's Persian coming into the South. They want to be like, in all respect to my family, but they want to like do things like quietly. I'm like, bitch, I'm here. I don't want to be quiet. I want to be loud. I was never like them. I'm just like my grandmother.
Right.
My grandmother was the one who pushed the envelope and came over here, and everyone was like, "You're fucking crazy." And she was like, "You're right. I am. See you later. I'm going to take my family to a place." And she had the nuts to do it. I'm like her.
And looking back at the time that she came over here, probably staying there would have been the crazier than coming here.
She had nuts. Like, I hate to say it like that, but that's the way we talk. Like, she had nuts. My grandmother didn't give a fuck. She didn't care that she didn't speak English. She didn't care. She just made the first step. And through her, my last name here is going to mean something. Because of her instilling what she instilled in me, I'm going to make sure they remember my motherfucking last name. My first name for sure. But in the end, my last name.
Yeah.
Because she sacrificed. She didn't come over here for us to be regular. She came over here for us to be successful and unorthodox. Sometimes success is, it's not going with the grain. It's going against that shit.
Right.
The rest of my family, sometimes, like my aunt, she went with the grain and she made it work. And she played the game strong.
Yeah.
A Persian woman to become one of the first, like, top dentists in this area. And then to buy real estate and own buildings in this area. But they don't get it fucked up. Like, they was like, here, you can get some of this too. It was like, hey, shit, you figure it out on your own. Since you want to go that way, go figure it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So when did you start recording, like, and putting out tracks or music?
16. I recorded my first song in a shed in like the back of someone's house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. 16. And I went in there and I wrote and I had my shit together. And at that time, I was like, damn, just hearing my voice sounded really good. It was like the only thing I could really put myself into and then hear it back. I'm like, damn, that's hot. Like,
you like listening to your voice?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, when I first heard my voice before I started the podcast being recorded, I was like, you always hear people, they like kind of cringe. But after I started the podcast, hearing like everyone be like, man, your voice is mad soothing. I'm
you
like,
got a cool ass voice.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you got a cool voice.
Yeah, to hear that you right away was like, yo, I sound dope as hell on
You know
this.
what it was? It's because I would always talk and nobody would listen, but I knew what the fuck I was saying made sense.
Right.
So when I hear it back, it's me. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. I'm going to be my own cheerleader. Like, talk your shit, man. Yeah, you got to be your own cheerleader before anybody else will. Nobody believed in me at first. I was talking about all this crazy shit when I first, started. And I believed in it. You know what I mean? I've been through the pitfalls for it. I'm going through the motions of it. I go to sleep thinking about it. I add my friends to it. I'm gonna make people believe, and I think that's just through work ethic and belief within myself and working towards it every day.
Right.
And manifesting the shit that I know I can get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody can tell me what the fuck I can't get. Nobody.
Right. That's so powerful.
Yeah.
It's like as simple as like just thinking about you want to park in front of the fucking store you're going to visit to, and it's like there's the spot.
Look, I always tell Najee that. Najee's always like, you always get the good parking spots. I'll be like, man, I always know.
I'm
like
a master manifester,
yeah,
motherfucker.
real shit.
So who do you think is a major influence on your hip hop career? I think I know the answer to this question, but you might trip me up. You threw me a curveball with 311, but
yeah. Well, before I would say the person who inserted it, that dropped that thing, it would be a couple different things. We got MTV probably at like 7 years old, and turning on the TV and seeing like the MTV news with Sway and seeing like Lauryn Hill. What was the big Fuji song?
The Ooh Na Na Na, yeah, with Nas.
Nah. The big Fuji song. That was a Roberta Flack. Strong in my pain.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
The video. When I saw the video, I was like,
really?
That was the first video I ever saw, like hip hop. And then Smashing Pumpkins, like, yeah.
Wow.
I'm fucking you up right now.
Yeah. Another
Smashing
curveball.
Pumpkins. My brother used to, Cranberries, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were so dope. But I would say that Lauryn Hill song that just drew me in. Like, oh my gosh, this is it's a room full of people not giving a fuck. You know what I'm saying? This is a room full of like saying how they feel and like showing how they feel and culture and all this amazing shit.
Yeah.
And then after that album, the Puff Daddy and the family. I gotta call him Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy and the Family album was the album that did it for sure. And then as I grew and got more knowledgeable, it would be Cash Money. Because I moved it, you know, we still in the South.
Yeah.
Cash Money. My first introduction was in the 90s to when hip hop was like hip hop. You know, it was New York based.
Yeah.
So that's what I studied.
Right.
And then Cash Money records came in, taking over for the 99 to 2000. Yeah, you know, and shit was turned up. You know, every party you went to in middle school, when you
Cash
hear that.
Money was so
what?
crazy.
When you
to
hear
see.
that everyone's like, oh shit. Let me dance with a girl, you know?
Right.
And then Lil Wayne, you know, when Lil Wayne was really, really rapping, like when I was like 14, 15, 16, I was like, yo, this dude is incredible. Carter 1, Carter 2.
Carter 1 and Carter 2, man. Yeah.
Amazing pieces of work.
Right.
And really rapping. Then I realized, oh, he's modeling after someone else, Jay-Z. But I wasn't on Jay yet. My brother was on Jay. So he put me on Jay. Then I really at like 18, 19 started to dive into dead.
That's at like
Reasonable Doubt.
Blueprint at that age, right?
Yeah. Actually, yes. I had the Blueprint before I got Reasonable Doubt. I was on his commercial records.
Yeah.
To the is all girls, all that type of stuff. I was like, this dude's dope. Big Pimpin' was the first time I've ever heard Jay-Z. Crazy enough.
Yeah.
That I remember.
Right.
And then I went back, Dead Presidents.
Right.
And then did that. Then went through the Nas. Really dived into Nas. And then as of lately, Cole, Nipsey, and Drake I rock with too. Kevin Gates, you know. So it's a lot of people that come like every generation that are really just, I like whoever's stepping into them.
Right.
That's beautiful to me. Like, just be the fuck you. I think that's some beautiful shit. I think no one can take that away from you.
Yeah. So how many albums do you have?
I have that I've put out one.
Okay.
But
that's 10,000 hours?
10,000 hours.
Yeah.
But I've worked on prior to.
Yeah.
I had one called Got Guap when I was like 19, mixtape. Yeah, it was crazy.
Got Guap.
Got Guap. I looked like a fucking 16-year-old Puerto Rican breakdancer on the cover.
Yeah.
And then another one after that called actually 2 mixtapes that actually did something. I did one with DJ Eastside, which is 2 Chainz DJ. Called Memoirs. That one was strong. It's on like Dat Piff, you know, like the mixtape circuits.
Yeah.
That one was really good. That one was the start of like, okay, I'm finding my sound. I got a sound. And then 10,000 Hours was just like the one that like,
Yeah.
kind of like kicked the door a little bit.
I remember when I first listened to it, we talked briefly about it. The opening, it's Headshot, right?
Hard Shot.
Hard Shot.
Hard Shot. Yeah,
that first song, and you're like, man, it's like hour 9,000. And for those of you that tell the story of what 10,000 hours. So.
10,000. They say, in order to be great. Actually, at the time, I was trying to figure out my album title, and that 10,000 hours thing has been like in my subconscious for some years of people saying like, in order to be great at anything, you need 10,000 hours. And I believe a guy from our area, a photographer, John Cornigan, he said something like 10,000 hours. And then he elaborated on it. And when I left, I was just like, 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
And then I literally broke down the years. Okay, if I started writing poetry at 8 years old, and then until all the way till I'm 28, because at the time when I was working on it, I was 28, right? And I break down, let's say I only did an hour a day, which I knew I was doing more than that. I was like, shit, I'm past my 10,000 hours. Or I'm right here at my 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, 10,000 hours is a statement. It's like the statement of, I've put in my work to perfect the craft. Now it's time to put in the work to perfect the business. 10,000 hours.
And so say
on
that,
all streaming sites, you can go get that. I'm just saying.
You can download it on iTunes.
You can download it iTunes, Tidal, preferably. You know, iTunes is bigger. Support Jay. iTunes and Tidal.
And so that opening line to that first song, is it's like hour
9,960. Oh,
fuck it.
Yeah, yeah.
That stuck with me. I remember that was one of the first things after I had met you and I just started downloading your music. I listened to that first song and was like, yo, I love that first opening line where you talk about it's almost 10,000 hours and you're like, fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
That's love. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that hit with somebody.
For sure. So I think now is what's changed, what's evolved since 10,000 hours to now, because it seems like it's an evolved type of music in which you're putting out. I think so you and I are in spiritual class. We have a lot of great conversations. Not as good as this one, obviously. Shout out Just a Recording Podcast.
This is Just a Recording Podcast brought to you by Patrick Moen.
But we had a conversation like a couple months ago where I asked you about your stories on Instagram, and you kind of tailored off of them, but you started posting more of like you just ripping like to a beat in a car.
To work.
And you were saying that you were putting out, I think you said that you were talking on your stories, and you stopped that to now you were saying a lot of musically, right? I forget that was a conversation. This was around the time
we had the conversation where you said, it was somebody that said something to me.
Right.
You remember? And then
I remember
the person said to me, you're using words that don't matter.
Yeah.
And that was like I was like, first of all,
yeah,
I am using words that matter. That was my defense mechanism, saying my words do matter, but I didn't realize. Then we talked. And I was still in it. I was dealing with it. Like, what the fuck? What did she say that for?
Right.
And then you talked, and you brought me a different perspective. I think you said, well, I honestly, I don't remember exactly what you said, but it was enough to change my whole train of thought.
Yeah.
It was to flip it and look at the positive perspective of maybe, because we're mirror images of what we're, you know what I mean, growing into be, or what we're failing at, or what we're. So she was telling me something that I needed to hear. I just didn't like the delivery.
Right.
And what I took from it was, stop putting all your energy of your musical abilities and your art into just talking and giving game on the stories and things that make you upset, and put it into your art.
Right.
And so I started to do that, and it started to work. And I'm now just spoon feeding people.
Yeah.
I have like 1,000 big paintings in the back, but I need to let them see my small paintings first.
Right.
And tell them to go tell somebody else. And then you go tell somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, this dude, he got some dope shit. Enough to get enough people in the room.
Right.
And it's starting to build now. So I will evolve again. I will continuously evolve. I might be doing fucking country music in 10 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Depending on what space I'm in.
Right.
So
I think a true successful artist has to evolve, right? If you look at, like, people talk all this shit about Drake.
Right.
But if you look at like how much his albums evolved and what he's been able to do,
right,
he's relevant.
Super.
And nobody can fuck with him.
Super.
Whether you want to say like, oh, he has ghostwriters or whatever, like he has a team that
it's a business
that helps. Exactly.
It's
That's
a business,
exactly what
as
it
you
is.
Should.
Right. Like no one person is doing everything.
Look at it like this, right? Kobe. You think to be the best basketball player, you're not going to hire the best sports doctor, the best trainer, the best chiropractor, the best person who... Nutritionist, good shit.
Right.
Because I wasn't even thinking about that one. You're going to... All these people, the best assistant,
right,
the best... All these people are pieces of you.
Mm-hmm.
So... If in the music business, you don't need those people. You don't need a chiropractor or nutritionist or whatever, right? But you do need, this person is a master at melodies, right? Just catching melodies in the beat. This person is an amazing storyteller, songwriter. This person in the middle that all these people are focused around, he's worked hard to put himself on the forefront.
Right.
Let's utilize and mesh all these things together and figure out how we can blend and make the best product musically that is going to transcend through generations, and you knew you were a part of it and you'll get paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's role is not meant to be the first person up front. Some people, it's like a car. Everyone wants to be the outside, the beautiful part. Bro, you got tires, a steering wheel, you got everything under the hood. Everyone has to play a role in it. And then when it does,
in unison, too.
And then it just moves. It's smooth.
Right.
Find out what you're best at, capitalize on it, get good at it, and fucking go. And figure out how to... Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan because of the people around him. He carried the team, but without fucking Kerr... Without Rodman, without Pippen, without what's my other man's name? Horry, and then it was one more that was like strong too. I think it was one more. Everyone who's watching this will be like, man, it's such and such. They be like, man, how the fuck you know that? But somebody else, right?
Yeah.
And then the coach.
Right. Phil Jackson.
What the fuck? Like, without these people, he couldn't come down court and hit every shot. He needed Pippen to pass right. He needed him to cut and plant screens and all these things. And they all played their position so beautifully.
Right.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how the fuck we got on that subject.
yeah, we
but
went
it's
down
cool.
a rabbit
People
hole.
are gonna get these jewels either way. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
they're
saying?
gonna
I
get
don't
'em.
give a fuck if it's not on course.
Yeah. What has changed your perspective on how you want to show up for your sons? And, you know, you also have a newborn baby on the way, 6 months along the way, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So, I remember we had a conversation a couple weeks ago, and you told me a story that you had a conversation with one of their moms, and they're just commending you on how good of a job you're doing of like raising them and interacting with them and trying to make them become the best men that they could become. And like you're just instilling this positive mindset, and you're just such an amazing father figure for them, where when they were first born, you were struggling trying to find your identity of how you were going to be a father and provide.
Right.
So how has that changed how you show up for them?
Still changing, because I'm not perfect yet.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to be perfect. I think the biggest way we can affect people is through action of working on yourself. And I think my kids are in a space of witnessing me work on myself, and they know how bad I want to win. They know how much I'm putting on the line for it. You know, they go some weekends without seeing me. They understand it. It's not easy. We're still building this strong relationship.
Yeah.
I'm still learning how my children are changing, and I ask them to talk to me daily, you know, and I have someone like Najee that's around that they just have drawn to, and they love his personality. So he helps me too. My woman, she helps me too. They help me become better. You know, I wasn't the best father last year or the year before that. I've gotten better since last year and this year.
Right.
And still learning. Like, you know, sometimes I'll be short, and then I'll be like, I gotta stop. I have to just let them be them. And whatever, as long as they're good people morally, principally, integrity-wise, then I don't care who they are.
Right.
I just need this core foundation. And I always tell them before they go to sleep, you know, when I die, I'm going to die before you guys. I don't want to die after you. And I said, so it's very important that you look out for each other, because when you walk out into this world, people are going to go against you.
Right.
Y'all have to have each other's back.
Yeah.
Y'all have the same last name. And I need you to understand where this comes from, what this means. I know I come from royalty. I know I come from people who really have taken advantage of things and really have become the best and pushed to be the best. And I want to push it in my children. And unfortunately, me not being around all the time is what will make them learn how to put another piece in their armor.
Right.
That will toughen them.
It'll make them stronger.
You know,
Yeah.
So I'm still learning, bro. I'm still learning. You learn as you go. It ain't no rule
Right.
book for this shit. All the parents out there know. Like, it ain't no, you don't know. You
Right.
sometimes you project your own shit on them, and you be like, why did I say that to him?
Right. Yeah.
Why? You know? So we're still working on ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see some people, their parents stay together the whole time of their childhood. They grow up and they suck.
Right.
They suck at life.
Yeah.
Then you see some people like the Jay-Z's, the LeBrons, there's so many you can name that their father wasn't around or their mother, whatever. And they grow up, and that hardens them to be able to perform at this level that is just like unheard of.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I'm the same. I was raised by my mom, my grandma, and my
Really?
sister.
Dope.
And my father wasn't around. And I, just like you, it really instilled this like belief in like how powerful women are and what their meaning is and how to respect them and understanding what it is that they go through and how they're treated. And so I think it just really, I wouldn't be the man that I am today if my dad was around. I'd be probably a douchebag. I probably wouldn't be as genuine and as good and wholehearted as I am to be able to provide and come from a place of love instead of maybe a place of just a want or an ego driven person.
Right.
You know, and I send nothing but love to my father. That's not to say anything bad, because I love him for not being there, because thinking about who I could have been when he was around, I don't know if I would like who that person would be.
Right. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's how people are supposed to look at life.
Right.
Perspective it is what it is. It didn't happen to me. It happened
for me. 100%.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I think it's dope. Before we move forward, I think it's dope that you don't find a lot of people that look at it like that. Yeah. So I think it's dope. I look at it like that. I know, I think it's dope that you look at it like that because it shows that, okay, well, even if we take this away, you can still turn into a respectable, solid man, and that, treats women with respect, that handles his business, that's pushing forward, that like, yo, I'm not going to let that affect me.
Yeah.
Kobe played with a broken wrist. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to. It is what it is. This shit sucks. It's hard. It hurts.
Right. I'm still going to do it.
Yeah.
That
ain't going to stop now.
So I feel like since I've been here, you've evolved and you've like turned into this. I don't want to take anything away from prior to me moving here. I mean, I just moved here about 11 months ago. And so I've been here, but to see you evolve and grow into this conglomerate of just the power of using your positive words for the force of good.
Yeah.
It's been incredible to watch and be on the sidelines and kind of see what you've been able to do and how you've been able to, one, manifest what it is that you want, know what you want, and go after it. Why do you think this shift in like in this last year has been so instrumental for you? God, I think that he just aligned people in my life that he knew I needed. And I lost a lot of people. And it sucked. It sucks growing. But on the other side of it, you get to see something beautiful. So I think that just getting closer to God and the universe and whatever that is. I don't know. When I say God, I don't know if it's a man, if it's a woman, or if it's the universe, if it's an energy that drops us here to extend through him and affect each other in the right way through light and brightness and love and whatever, Right. But we all get in our own ways with the ego and all this other shit that we all are battling with still. Yeah. Just like I manifest great things, I manifested bad things. Yeah. Even recently. That I'm like, fuck, man, why did I do that, I didn't understand the power of my words. I didn't understand the power of my action. Yeah. And this is just the fuck it, like, I'm going to be all the way transparent. I went to LA and shot a video trying to recreate my past. I come back in the same week. I get arrested. The same week, this last week. Yeah. That's how powerful manifestation is. Yeah. And I was in someone else's car. And there was a bag that was left in the car that had that person's handgun in it. Fuck. Yeah. So they tried to say it was mine and things like that. But, God always works in the right way. You know what I mean? He was trying to show me something. Put you in check. It wasn't. Yeah. Yeah. Because you got to remember, as you're growing, you also have to separate. Mm-hmm. You can't be around the same things. You know what I mean? So it's not to hurt me. It's going to all work out. Yeah. I believe like it's going to all work out. But that's also the power. Even my friends, like when I came back, like friends that weren't there, they were like, bro, why did you shoot that video like that? And I'm like, bro, that's from the past. They're like, yeah, bro, but you know how you are, like with your words and shit. Right. So, I mean, that's another step. And people going to watch me grow through that. Regardless of wherever it has to go, it's going to go. They're going to watch me get better. Like, yo, this dude is not for fucking play. Right. You're not going to, listen, bro. As long as I got my, can't nothing throw me off but me. And that was me, just being in the wrong place at the wrong time and places I've grown from. Right. And that's God saying, okay, I'm putting you on this path towards your greatness. You got so many opportunities right now, but you still want to play. Okay. It could have been way worse because, obviously I can't talk too much about it, but it could have been way worse. Yeah. But it didn't. It wasn't a stolen gun. It was in someone else's name. It's not mine. It literally was the truth. Yeah. But it was like, well, why are you even in this situation though? What are you doing? Right. You understand? And so I'm currently
fighting that now.
Right.
You know, which is going to be another, I look at it as another hurdle, not setback, not obstacle, just a hurdle. Something I got to, you know, and I got to grow from it and be smarter and learn that I'm a businessman now. I'm a musician. I have a lot of people that work with me that are pursuing this, that have put their life on the line as far as spending time with their families, that travel with me daily, that I cannot play. And I ain't come to play. So God in the universe said, well, okay, if that's the case, then why the fuck are you playing with this right here? Why are you even in this?
Right.
Learn what's for you and learn what's not for you, and then move forward.
Takes a tremendous amount of pressure to forge a diamond.
Pressure makes it. And I'm trying to shine like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, you know, I need all of it.
So when I asked the question, you seem like you sat in it for a second. Do you feel like this shift has happened in this last year? Do you feel it?
Hell yeah.
Because you can see it all over you.
Yeah. Thank you. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my lady, she likes to joke and say, like, you know, your hair started growing nice, your beard started coming in, your face started glowing, and she's not lying. Like, I didn't realize when I look at pictures from last year, I was going through some shit. I had just left my last girlfriend. Mm-hmm. That relationship was like wasn't a bad relationship. She was a good person in the relationship. Just was time to move forward. And then, you know, when as a guy, I'm young at the time, like 27, right? 28, whatever. Well, I guess young. No, that's young. Fuck that.
You're young.
I'm young till I'm like 90.
Yeah. I'm
young. So then you break up with the person, and then you've got to feel like, oh, I'm going out to the club. I'm gonna go meet this girl. I'm gonna sleep with this girl. I'm traveling in all these places. I'm living my dreams. I'm going to travel, and doors are opening, but I'm wasting each opportunity through sex, through alcohol, through the wrong things. I come back. Najee can attest. Najee's always with me. You know what I'm saying? Najee's like my motherfucking, he's an angel. Like
he's your ace.
He is, dog. He really is. You know, God put him here for a super reason, you know? And I said, you know what? I'm going to stop drinking. I spent 3 weeks to stop drinking. Was it 2 weeks or 3 weeks? Two, right? And I'm binge watching The Sopranos in the house, depressed. It's summertime. It's beautiful outside. And I'm like by myself. I didn't realize how depressed I was. You know, I'm like, yo, Najee, come watch this joint with me. He's like, bro, look at it outside. It's beautiful. What are you doing? But it was the beginning. It was my shedding to start the next process. And then people like, you know, like even believe it or not, like at that time, it was people like you, people like Candace, people like Sharif that were just lights. And I didn't realize like I was attracting to y'all because I needed y'all. As I look back, like, I needed that energy. I needed that light. I needed that love. I needed that acceptance. I needed that, you know, it was like reassurance for me to get back on the court. You know, for me to come on, let's go. Then I started manifesting. I want a new girl. This is what I want her to be. This is how.
I remember talking to you about
bro,
that.
You know me through the whole process.
I remember talking to you about, like, before you met her. Yeah. You were literally talking about everything you wanted in a partner, in a girlfriend.
Yep. And I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. Real shit. As I look and I think, like, you know, we all get shit and then we start fucking shit up. Like, you know, maybe I should, you know, maybe I could, you know, but bro, when you get it and you look, you like, you know, naturally nothing's perfect. Yeah. So it's going to come, you ask for this, but you still going to have this little thing here, this little thing here, this little thing. And recently she just deleted social media. And I noticed, like, in our relationship, how much has made our relationship better. Because we were talking, and we was talking about, you know, she's a nurse, and she feels like her job here is to nurture and help. And then we would argue. Naturally, I'm an artist. There's people following me day to day. You know, girls coming in. Do you know this person? Natural shit that I get it, like, you know. And we realized, like, damn, we arguing about stuff that is not that deep. You know what I mean? Like, we are everything that we need from each other. Yeah. Fuck that. Yeah. I need you to be this person so I can go out and perform and be my full version. So when I come, you charge me. You're my power source. Remember we just talked that Sunday? Yeah. You can't charge me. I can't charge you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, as people, yeah, we mirror. You can give me 20%. I can give you 20%. Vice versa. You can't give me 100%. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody can give you like 40, and the rest you can get from God. So you got 40 from your partner. You got, or 30 from your partner. I'm just spitballing numbers. 30 from this child, 30 from this child, 20 from this friend, 20 from this friend. 100% going into yourself, you know, like that's beautiful.
Yeah.
You are all angles. You are depositing checks right now, baby.
Right.
It ain't no withdrawals, you know? And that shit right there, that feels good.
Yeah.
You know, so to have a child with someone like that, I'm excited.
That's incredible.
I'm fucking excited.
So you mentioned before God. Have you always been a believer in, and I have the same belief as you, right? Like God, him, her, it, this thing, this presence. I've recently just fallen back in love with the word God. I would have probably turned a shy eye to you saying that 2 years ago. It just didn't resonate with me, and I would look negatively on someone that was like, "Oh, I'm going to church." I would be like, "Why are you going to church?"
Yeah. I feel you on that.
And now I'm like, I get it. And what really fucked me up is I was having a conversation, with Sharif, and we were talking about like the energy that channels through, right? And like how when you are an artist in your craft, it's an energy source that's of God, right? And so whenever you see like an artist or an athlete, when they get an award, their first person that they thank always is God. Mm-hmm. And I used to look at that and be like, why are you thanking God for what you're doing? And then when I had the conversation with Sharif, and it was like, sometimes when I talk, I don't know what I'm saying. It just comes through me. And so I know that energy source is coming from something that is not of me, but I have the ability to channel it out.
We need like a funk flex bomb.
And that blew my mind away.
That's it.
Have you always had this belief in God, or when you were growing up, were you religious?
No. My family, because they came from that revolution where they were trying to force being Islam and things like that, they didn't really put a lot into religion. Yeah. They never told us this is God or da-da-da-da. They just taught us the Zoroastrian way, which was like, they weren't religious either, but they believed in this thing called Zoroastrian. And it was like good thoughts, good words, good actions, good deeds. That's it. You know, and know that there's a higher power, right? And that's it. And then as I grew older and was forced in a group home to go to church, I would go to church, and the thing that disappointed me about church was I would watch all these people who sucked outside of church, and then they would come into church, and then they feel like they would hit the reset button, and then they would be cool for like 6 hours, and they would suck again. Right. You know, and I never respected that, to be honest. Like, I stand on that still. Like, if you go to church and you leave church and you suck throughout the week as a person, right, church ain't going to help you. Yeah. You got to help you, dog. Right. And that shit comes from being in the dark, working on yourself, reading when ain't nobody around, diving into different cultures and what feels right. Right. You know what I'm saying? People put all these type of motherfucking, I'm Christian and I'm this, that, and shit. Man, look, listen, just like when they was like, oh, Trump is in office or Obama's, bro, it don't matter who's in office. If you a piece of shit, you a piece of shit. Yes. Don't matter what religion you a part of or who's your God. If you a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit. Right. Period. So for me, just like my auntie used to say, I say, I love you. She said, don't tell me you love me. Show me you love me. Don't tell me you're this. Don't tell me you're that. Show me. I should know off the rip. I don't need a title on that shit. Right. And that's my opinion. I don't care who really feels no type of way about it. It is what, you know. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like people that go to church on Sunday, they're in fear that this thing is going to cast judgment on their previous 7 days. God don't operate like that. No. God doesn't operate like that. Yeah. What you put out is what you get back. Right. God exists in this dimension through us, but he doesn't control it. He lets us control it. And that's why people get killed and this, that happened. They're like, oh my God. Like, it's not him. It's not her. It's not God. He's given the power to channel him to be able to affect the next individual in the right way. What we do with it is on us. Right. And energy's so motherfucking powerful. A guy who's a piece of shit could be driving a car and have an angel daughter or girl next to him, and something hit the car and it kill her. And people be like, well, why is it a God? That's how powerful energy is, dog. Right. That's why you got to watch who the fuck you hang around. Exactly. That's why you got to not waste time talking to people who not for you. That's why you got to, and I didn't mean to like push that towards you. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But you have to, if it's not for you, it ain't for you, it's against you. You know? And that's, God is, listen, do you know who the Baby is? The rapper, the Baby from Charlotte? Yeah. Right? I love using him as an example. right? This dude comes into the rap game. He talks about how he's the baby came into the game talking about how he's the prettiest chocolate dude, how he's the best motherfucking rapper. He didn't say I look better than you. He didn't say my skin color is better than yours. He's taking everything about him and
saying it's the best.
It's the best. That's godlike. Confidence is godlike, right? Watch this. He gets a murder charge. Someone tries to rob him in Walmart in front of his daughter. He takes the gun, kills the person, right? Didn't want to. He was protecting his family. He beats the charges, right? If that's not, if confidence makes everything else that's not of God, get out your way. People don't like confidence because they want to normalize it. Like,
right.
Yo, be humble. The word humble means to lower one's self-esteem or importance.
I'm glad you just took it there.
Yeah, be humble.
You taught me that word, the definition of it.
Yeah. If you want to tell me to make you more comfortable, say be natural. Our natural state isn't cocky. It's not but confidence is, you're supposed to be confident. Mm-hmm. That's the first step. How the fuck you gonna go out here and get your goals and dreams and things like that, and you doubting the whole? You don't even believe in it. You like, man, I think you dribbling the basketball. I don't know if it's gonna be a good game. I think I don't know. You know, you gotta go confidence.
Yeah,
it's godlike, and you get confidence from the work, right? You can't just be like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna be the best.
Yeah,
no, you gotta work. I've been right all day. Today is 6 o'clock. I don't know what time it is now. I've been working since 9. And then I'm going to go home and I'm going to eat with my family. I ain't hit the gym yet. And then I'm going to go to the gym because I got to do this shit for me. My son is on the way, my next son.
Yeah.
They need a good example. And I'm confident. So when I'm doing everything that's for me, raising my children, being the best boyfriend I can be, being the best fiance I can be, being the best father, being the best friend, doing it, I'm confident. Can't nothing get in my way. There's nothing that could come my way that's supposed to harm me.
Yeah. So these last couple of months have been, you mentioned earlier, like when you first started watching MTV, you know, like you saw Sway, you just met him.
Just met Sway.
And
beautiful soul.
How is that experience of like meeting somebody that, I mean, I don't know how, I remember watching him on Yo MTV and like all the channels, and I'm sure that's got to be just like a pinnacle moment.
The past 3 months have been fucking beautiful because I've met so many hard hitters in this industry. Mm-hmm. I mean, I played music for J. Cole last month or the month before. I ran into Steve Stout in LA, which is like, right?
Yeah.
And like had a nice quick little convo with him and saw who I was with, a person I'm working with out there, like how they respected this individual. Mm-hmm. You know, my friends that are doing 30 years connects me in the federal system, connects me with someone who's in the industry, very high in the industry, you know, and you meet in these relationships, and then, you know, you go, you meet Sway, you know, you go rap at XM Radio, and then, you know, my friends that are around me, Lady London, the G Yamazawas, the King Mezes, these people are like, God is like, you know. It's been more people too. I can't even, it's happening so fast. I can't even, but that's why I know I'm going to another level. So I have to get even better now. Yeah. I can't perform how I did last year. And this last little incident that just happened, it's like I said, it didn't happen to me. It happened for me. Yeah. It's to show me, bro, if you're going to get a championship, you can't do it like that. Mm-hmm. You can't fucking go want to play ball, drop 20 points, and then want to go hang out with all the fans to get the acknowledgement and the gratitude. I don't want to kick it with no fans, dog. I want to play. I want to talk to the players. I want to train with the players. I want to be on the court. Right. Because it ain't no reason for me to debate people in the stands. 90% of people don't want to be in the stands, but they scared to get on the court. Mm-hmm. I'm not scared to get on the court. And I'm not scared to miss shots in front of people, you know? Yeah. My bad. I love basketball. Like, now that I think about it, I use a lot of basketball analogies.
Yeah. No, I'm all for it.
It's dope, though, because you get to see someone go put in some work and then come tear your ass up. And then they be like, oh, I don't like LeBron, or I don't like Michael Jordan, or I don't like Kobe. And you don't like their work ethic because, bitch, you don't want to do it. You don't want to put in that work. Right. I don't like Kevin Hart. I don't like these people I don't like Leonardo DiCaprio. These people who put in massive time on their art and are incredible at what they do. Yeah. people hate Floyd Mayweather. How you hate someone who is the best at whooping ass?
Yeah.
And then tells you, I will whoop your ass. Like, how do you hate somebody like that?
Conor McGregor is the same thing.
That's what America represents.
Right.
Like, why are we mad at people that get fucking great at what they do, and then they're just performing in what they do, and then someone's like, you suck, and then now they feel like they got to defend themselves.
Yeah, but here's the fucked up part about it is we want to get behind somebody that we watch on the come up, but when they get to where they're supposed to be, who they've worked all their life to become, when we see him in that pinnacle moment on that pedestal, we want to knock him the fuck off. But on the come up, we're like, yo, you're going to get there. And then you see him and you're like, because on the come up, you're like, oh, I can relate. I could maybe do that.
Being
but then,
relatable.
Yeah. And then they become like an unrelatable source. They become so great that you hate them for what they become.
And it's just you hate yourself.
Oh, that's 100%.
That's all it is. You know what I mean? These people that think like that, they just hate. They could be those people too. Or they miss their shot at being that type of them. They could still be themselves in their highest format.
Right.
You just don't like putting in fucking work. You want to be at the bar every weekend. You want to be in the club with... Dog, if I go to a club and every time I go to a club, we running into the same people, what the fuck kind of advice could you give me about life? I think it was 50 Cent. He said his grandfather used to tell him that you go as far as the motherfuckers that you talk to for no reason. And what it means is, what could I get from being around somebody who doesn't have anything going for them? What type of advice could you give me? Because either you had it and you don't have it no more, which that ain't cool either, because you couldn't figure out how to sustain it. That's like they say money brings out the truth, magnifies the person's, right? Yeah. So if you get something and then you lose it, you can get it back. But if you just lose it forever, then you failed yourself. Yeah. Because you showed yourself the potential of what it could look like, and then you lost it. And the time is never too late. We got plenty of time. Yeah. You know, we just got to take care of ourselves better. You know, men, if you feel, you know, you're older, whatever old looks like to you, you be like, man, I've been working for somebody for 40 years, 30 years, 20 years. I don't want to work for nobody no more. Okay. You can go do exactly what you want to do. Just know what is going to come with it. But you can shift it in a matter of 6 months to a year, depending on how hard you're willing to work for it. Yeah. You don't like the way you look. Cool. You can shift it. Mm-hmm. It's simple. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about what you're doing for the city of Raleigh. I love this city. Yeah. I love this fucking city. You are... Actually, before we get into that, okay, let's talk about the event you did in Atlanta last month. Yeah. And it was like kind of the first of its kind. You went to perform from a guy that hit you up. I think you told me from Canada. Toronto. Yeah. Shout out to Shad, right? Yeah, shout out to Shad. And so you went to like from Canada. You went to a business event, right, in Atlanta. I'm coming for Drake. No, you went to a business event. It was like a entrepreneurial like seminar, I think. No, well, it was like a...
Give me the juice.
Yeah, so it was like a... help me out, Najee. It was like a love seminar. A love seminar on Valentine's Day. Yeah. Okay. Right?
And so what kind of people were attending?
Super diverse. That was one of a kind. And I manifested that last year saying I was going to be the first hip-hop artist to start rapping at keynote speeches. Yeah. Shout out to Shad for believing in me. Shout out to Shad. Yeah, and so I ran into a guy named Charlie Rocket. Yep. Fucking amazing story. Yeah. Amazing personality. He lost like 200 pounds. Yeah. Said he was...
Did he play the commercial? His Nike commercial? Yeah, that's his skit. Like, yo, it's so... You get chills.
You seen him before?
Hell yeah.
Oh, that dude is the shit. Yeah. That dude is the shit. So I perform, and then Charlie Rocket goes on right after.
But you didn't like perform... you did music with talks.
Yeah, like I spoke about each record and how I felt at the time of going through that. My friend, you know, I got All By Design, where it's a record about, you know, I saw the love soon as the money came. Some people left my life. It's still unexplained. Mm-hmm. You know, ask around my city. Hey, who been running things? Ask your girlfriend who she loved. You should run my name. I fell down and I got up. One of my closest friends, he just got shot up. It was like a thing. Like, it was one of my really good friends, you know, called me, got shot up. So to be able to explain these things that are happening, then to hear like, you got a baby on the way, you know, you're making the finances that you've asked for, everything's going smooth, but you have to look at all collateral beauty.
Yeah.
That's how I would explain it. So we go to this thing, the seminar. I perform. I'm able to talk in between the records and telling people. And people, my girlfriend, it's her first time seeing me perform.
That was her first time?
Yeah.
Damn.
And so she told me after the fact, like, she was like, oh my God, you did so good. I was so scared though. She was like, because I didn't know, like,
Yeah.
She was like, but you slowed down time. She was like,
whoa,
you slowed time down. I watched everyone's faces and you made everyone move to your energy. And I was just like, oh, yes. And so as I get off, Charlie Rocket is next. And Charlie Rocket is like talking to me. You know what I mean? I make sure I sit right on the front row. You know what I mean? 'Cause
yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to be disrespectful. Go. And it was a paid gig. So I wasn't like, get my money and I'm out.
Yeah.
I know I came here for something. So Charlie Rocket, he goes up and he tells, first of all, he's just like, man, that was great. He was like, I feel like you are the hybrid artist. You are where this is going. You are what you just did, and it was just beautiful. Then he tells his story. Beautiful story. Beautiful story. Anyone who gets a chance, go look up Charlie Rocket.
Yeah.
The dude is fucking inspirational, motivational, incredible, all the things you can put in.
All the things.
Beautiful soul.
Yeah.
So I'm about
he manifested a Nike commercial.
The dude is just beautiful. His soul, his spirit is just beautiful.
Yeah.
So we're about to leave. We're walking out, and I lean over to him and tell him, because there's someone after him, and I'm like, yo, I'm about to take off, but I just wanted to tell you, good shit. It was so nice to meet you. He was like, hold on, I'm gonna walk with you outside. He walks me outside. He just shows me a lot of love. He's like, take my number. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've been talking to him through text. Luckily, when we was in LA, we didn't get to, you know how LA is. Once you get on one side, it's like,
you don't want to go to the other.
We didn't get a chance to, but sometimes relationships is about planting the seed. I don't need anything from you, and I don't want him to think I need anything from me. I told J. Cole the same thing. You know,
Yeah.
I said, my introduction was like, first and foremost, I want you to know I respect who you are. I respect your work ethic, and I'm an independent artist. I don't need anything from you. I just want you to hear my direction and my vision. And for him to take time out to listen, that means something too. So God is throwing all these signs like, yo, you getting closer and closer and closer. But as you getting closer, the things are going to get tighter and tighter. It's like running through that football huddle where everybody's hitting you from both sides. You're like, God damn, what the fuck? But when you get through there, you're like, yeah. And you want to do it again.
Yeah.
Because you thrive.
Hit me harder.
Yeah.
Hit me harder
next
time.
Let's go.
Yeah.
This is where champions thrive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the last 3 months have been fucking amazing. And I'm just ready to manifest new things. I wrote goals down. I did them already. It's time to, Nipsey said it, I wrote down, it's time to write some new ones and manifest some new ones and become better and become a better individual, a better father, and also reserved too, because I don't want to give everybody everything. I want to give it through the music so people can hear me through the music.
Yeah.
And things like this. This is part of my art.
Yeah.
I used to want to kick it with people all the time. Like, yeah, let's go chop it up. I don't really want to do that now.
Right.
Like, we could chop it up like this. This is progressive.
It is.
We getting work done while it's work getting done.
Sure.
So if it's not this or the music or my family, I'm cool.
Yeah. I know we were trying to go out on your birthday.
Yeah, I know. I dipped on y'all asses. I
Yo,
was like, yeah, I'll call you in a little bit.
We still got brunch.
No, I know.
You weren't there, though.
I was out, man. And it's not personal, I tell all my friends now, like, if you're not in the mix of what I'm doing every day, I still got love for you. Like, it ain't nothing. I gotta go get what I gotta get.
They're not your true friends if they're gonna get offended at
Good point.
you wanting to spend time with your family over spending time with them.
Yeah.
The true ones will know, I get it.
Yeah.
I'll see you on the flip.
Yeah. And when we do see each other, we have better interactions at that point anyway.
Right.
Because of the spaces.
Yeah.
It's not force it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah.
So, this might drop. I might have to drop it right before March 27th.
Oh, we ain't talk about it. March 27th.
Yeah, let's get it.
March 27th.
So we talked about obviously, what you're doing for the city, but let's go in, let's unpack that a little of what it is. This is the first of its kind.
First one, man.
Yeah.
First one, March 27th. The first hip hop keynote speech in the city. Shout out to my partner Zeus, MSD. That's our label. We have an independent record label, More Success Daily.
Yeah.
More Success Daily, every day.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, I want to put on a hip hop show. And anything I always want to do, he always believes in me. He meets me halfway on it. Let's do it. Whatever you want to do, let's do it. So I decided to bring in Sharif, which is going to be our first key. We're going to do this 2 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
First half, second half, right? We want to involve new people every time.
Yeah.
For the first one, we're involving Sharif to be our keynote speaker. Greg Perlman and Freddie Valoy are going to be the host. He's an upcoming comedian in this area, Dominican dude. Funny as
hilarious
fuck.
Shit.
I love his energy. It's the same every time I see him.
So
people
good.
that I respect, people like that. Like it's always high.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it's always high.
Yeah.
And you know shit happens to people throughout the day, but you still keep your energy high. So Fred and Greg Perlman, I love Greg. Greg is just an MC. He knows how to. I just see a lot in Greg. So that. Then we got the artist, Ace Henderson. When I tell you this kid is talented, he's talented as fuck. He has a niche audience. And who hasn't heard him is going to appreciate that they did hear him. Right? And he's from the Raleigh area. He's from here. G Yamazawa. He's this Asian guy from, I don't want to like say his actual, because I don't want to say what Asian, because I don't know. And I got to talk to him and be like, just because I never want to like fuck that up. So he's Asian. G, if you see this, I'm sorry. So he's Asian, right? But this dude is incredible lyrically. And I think he's signed with an independent label in LA, so he's back and forth. But he sells out shows in Durham. He's LA, crazy. Swift has had like records on like top 100 record. Like Pull Up was like a huge record. Incredible songwriter.
Okay.
These people are just people I respect. It's like a all-star team. When you pick people from LA, you pick people from, that I just respect.
Yeah.
For the first one to kick it off.
Right.
That have put in the work to get to this point to where we all could. And then on the next one, we're gonna see who else has been working, and then we're gonna bring new people in.
Yeah.
And then Lady London. And Lady London is like this fucking girl.
She's blowing up.
Jada Pinkett Smith posted her today.
I saw that.
Beautiful.
The thing that you posted,
Look at my friends. I got cool friends.
Right.
I got Patrick Bowen. Look at this shit. How could I not be great?
Yeah.
I got dope ass friends. I mean, look at who's on this card. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. But when you talk about my friends, I want to. They are the shit.
Yeah.
Lady is beautiful. A beautiful soul. She's young. She got her master's degree from Howard. Woman stepping into like, this is what a woman is supposed to look like. And if you're not willing to deal with it, get the fuck out my way. Fierce. Like, I'm a woman, hear me roar type of shit.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that was her when Jada posted that
Jada
video.
Pinkett Smith. Yeah.
And I realized when I said Jada, people might think it's talking about Jada Kiss. No, Jada
Pinkett Smith. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I saw you posted on your story and was like, whoa, that. And then I went back to the original post and I was like, holy shit, that's Lady London.
Yeah.
Damn. That was strong as hell.
Strong. Yeah, she's become one of my really, really good friends.
That's dope.
And I'm proud of her, and she tells me how she's proud of me. And we just upcoming college players going to the NBA that are like, I see you. I see you. Stay focused. What can you help me with? What can I help you with? And just a genuine friendship that doesn't have anything, no outsourcing of like the bullshit, I guess you would say.
Right.
So I'm excited, bro. Friday, March 27th, the Lincoln Theater, the show. Yeah. The doors open like 7:30, but the show's gonna start like 8:30.
Right.
Probably be like a 2-hour show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something you could really watch, an energy that we're gonna create.
I think a lot of
it's gonna be like, whoa. And you can still go to the club afterwards or whatever you want to do. Whatever people, it's gonna be a different, diverse crowd, which I'm super excited about because Raleigh needs this shit. I want to generate a music industry and economy of entertainment, not just music, in our area.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want more people to hit you up. Like, bro, I'm trying to do a podcast and you get more followers and you do the same for me.
Yeah.
And then when I do videos in the city, I need makeup artists. I need lash technicians. That generates the economy.
100.
I need actors. There's actors that want to go to LA. You don't got to go to LA. I got you right here. Come on, get this money. We can do it.
Yeah.
There's models. Let me do it. It's all here.
Yeah.
I just need the city to get behind me and trust me that I'm gonna step into that. And I want to be able to help people as much as I can while I'm still pursuing my vision and my dream. But I want to be the first to step into that shit. We got our system here. We don't have to leave. We got everything we need here.
Yeah.
We know business owners. We know all these people. We control the flow. So I want to be the first to step into it. I want everybody to bring somebody. Everybody pull up. It's not about the money. We ain't finna make no tons of tickets. It's $20.
Ticket $20.
Like,
right?
if you walk up that day, it's $30. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
but what you getting is worth it.
What's it? 7, 8 artists that you're gonna see?
Strong.
Yeah.
It ain't no weak links on that card, that ticket. So, I just need the city to come, show up like I need y'all to show up.
I think they're gonna.
It's going to.
Yeah.
It's going to be beautiful.
It will happen.
We have to turn up.
Yeah.
And then we're going to utilize that energy, and I'll speak on that night. We're going to all of us, we're going to utilize that energy that night. We're going to all disperse it, and we're going to leave with it, and we're going to.
Listen, I hope I dropped a little nugget in you. I think, remember I was like, are you going to do a panel? I think that should be for the next one that you do.
What kind of panel?
Where either after everyone performs or before, you kind of have some like rapport like this where you have one person that moderates, but you ask certain questions, and so the audience gets to see and gets like that personal touch with who the artist is and why they're there or what it is that they're doing or where they're going or where they're headed. Maybe a little bit about their story. I think that's such a.
I like that.
Yeah, like it's
like
just like you have such a diverse card for this concert.
Yeah.
Like you have a comedian, you have an MC, you have Sharif, who is like just. I don't even know what to refer to him as, but what he's doing on Conscious Conversations, like what he's going to bring to the table, and then you have somebody like Lady London, and then these 3 other artists that I'm excited to just see. So. I'm going to drop that little nugget in you. I think
I appreciate
look
that.
at doing like a panel talk.
Yeah, because I wanted to get better every time.
Yeah.
This is just what I came up with. So now that we got other people involved, that are going to be like, yo, let's turn it into something big.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I don't give a fuck about, I care about the growth of it. You know what I mean? And I just want people to be able to, in this city, in the past, because you used to live here too, so you've seen the diversity change, but it's still changing. We're trying to create this identity, and we are at the forefront.
It's the precipice of something awesome right now.
Yeah, and we need the people to understand. Don't let me go and blow up, because I'm going in my direction regardless.
Right.
Like that's not a. But don't make me feel like any of us that are going towards something and trying to put the city in a light. When I go to these places, they like, where you from? Like Raleigh. I say both, Raleigh-Durham.
Right.
Because I've been in both and I've stayed in both.
Yeah.
But, dog, I want us to have our identity. I want us to be like, yo, this is where we are. This is it. We got our own shit popping here. When you want to, yeah. So in order for that to work, if I got people that believe in me in Greece and all these other places, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. But I need people to come see what I'm talking about here too. Yeah. Because you might have missed over me. You might have not heard of me. You might have not. I'm cool with all that.
Yeah. You're gonna hear about me soon.
Yeah. But I want you to hear about me while I'm here. And so when I go out into the world, I know I got the support of my home team. Mm-hmm. When I go to LA and I'm in New York, I don't have to. I got my city. My city's fucking with me. Right. That's all you need. The city to fuck with you. So all of us and whatever we doing, get the city behind you. So this is an opening door for that. Let's do this shit. Let's make it dope. The next one we might bring a big ass artist to headline it. Damn. Yeah, we gonna yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Wale would be dope at the next one.
I'm a huge fan of his.
Wale would be dope in that type of vibe. If we could ever get Erykah Badu, I don't know what her fucking price would be. A lot. We'd have to get a big venue though for that. Yeah. Yeah. To sell out some tickets. We'll I'm gonna manifest it. We're gonna find somebody. All right. We're going to find somebody. Yeah. Word. Well, I think we did it, man. I think we covered it all. We did it. Yeah. We covered a lot. This was dope. Yeah. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you having me, man. Yeah. I know that how busy life is and Corona. Hey, hello? It's the Corona. Corona, sir. Step outside, please. We need to sanitize the entire room. Did you dap him up when he walked in? Don't give me more handshakes if you did. Shit. I don't want to touch the mic. Don't touch anything. They got hand sanitizer in here? Oh, man. But that was Najee Johnson, by the way. Yeah. Oh, shit. This was dope. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. I know how busy life is, and I've been wanting to hear your story, and I feel like there's so much more to it. Yeah. But this was like I'm not about to bore everybody. Like, it's like, if you weren't there, it doesn't seem as interesting. It just seems like I'm talking. Yeah.
But I think you're wrong. I think it's not. It's look at what it's created.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think everyone has that truth in their story, and it's
Yeah.
a beautiful one, and it needs to be told. Because if you don't tell it,
Right.
some other motherfucker is going to tell it for
Right.
you, and they're going to tell the wrong story.
Shit. When you talk about me, make sure you say it right.
Right.
Right. I was actually excited to come to this today. I had such a good energy this morning when I woke up. I had a very productive day. And then this was like the perfect way to like end the work part of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You still got work to do, but that's like the fun part.
Yeah.
So this turned into fun too. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you having me. I'm excited to see. I salute the fact that you're stepping into something. And when you step into something, you're gonna get people that's like, "Why is he doing that?" Or don't worry about that.
Yeah.
That's the people in the stands.
Right.
Right? Just do your shit.
Right.
And make it better and better each time.
Everyone's always like, "What's your goal with the podcast?" I was like, "I don't have a goal. I'm just let it be great. Like let it do its thing."
And you'll figure out that will come as time comes.
Right.
As you get in the gym, it's like you're recording music.
Right.
Like, what is your sound? You don't
It's
know
evolving.
at first. Yeah, it's evolving.
Right.
And then once you feel it and it sticks. And you're like, yeah, this is it right here.
Yeah. First couple of podcasts was literally just on mics. Now
Look
I
at
got
you.
the camera.
You got an interface.
Yeah.
You a rapper.
Man.
You got the MacBook with the 2 mics. You might need to drop a
broke in there.
mixtape.
It literally
This the first
just
one?
came in the mail today. First one. So you're gonna be sounding.
You're gonna make a lot of progression off of that right there.
Yes,
That's
sir.
a nice one too. It's good.
Hell yeah! I hope it's nice. That was the
I'm
most expensive
I'm
piece of the
super
equipment.
lying. I know absolutely nothing about interfaces. It just looks cool. Like, I'm like,
all
yeah,
right.
that one is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
I want to send good energy your way. That's a nice one. A lot like shit.
I appreciate
This
that.
was amazing.
Word. Well, if you made it this far, I appreciate you guys tuning in. What I'd love for you to do, go on Apple iTunes. Go ahead and leave me a comment. Yeah, you can go
Download
to
Tidal.
I don't know if you'll
Tidal.
find me on Tidal, but go ahead and
You got to get Tidal. What do you mean?
I don't think Tidal has podcasts.
Shit. Yes, they do. You got Spotify?
Yeah, I'm on everything.
Who can help him out with that? They do have podcasts. Let me call Jay-Z tomorrow, man. I'm going to see if I can get you on there, man. See if I can pull a favor.
Please.
See if I can pull a favor.
Just the recorded podcast. Hey. But what I'd love for you to do, go on Apple iTunes, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Leave me 5-star rating. I would love your feedback. I appreciate you tuning in, listening to Jiaani's story.
Yes, thank you.
Make sure, where can we find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at I am Jiaani. The name is Jiaa, 2 A's, N-I.
Yeah.
I am Jiaani. And you can Google. I always want to say that. You can Google me. Jiaani, just the name by itself. You could go to YouTube at I am Jiaani. Search all my visuals, come up, go check them out. Leave dope comments. If you don't leave no whack ass comments. Just don't comment. Keep that shit to yourself.
Give it thumbs up.
Yeah. Or when I see you, I'm gonna say something to you about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why'd you leave that stupid comment?
Yeah.
I didn't know you had a
some type of way.
YouTube. You had a YouTube page.
Me?
Yeah. I didn't know.
Did y'all just hear that? Did he just say that? Yeah, I got a YouTube page.
Yeah.
I am Jiaani.
All right.
Yeah.
Now now I'm gonna search you out.
Yeah, I thought we was past that. I thought we was cool. Like, yo, shut this shit down. No, I'm just like, I'm fucking with you. Nah, yeah, it's the same as the Instagram.
Yeah.
Same
Okay.
as the Instagram.
Cool. And then also you can download all your albums on all the platforms, right?
Yeah. Title.
You're really pushing hard.
It's
You
the
guys-
Rock. No,
You guys stocking
Yeah.
Title?
I don't know.
I'm
I'm
gonna manifesting.
We might come back in a year like, oh shit.
Shit.
Nah, iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, Tidal, wherever you get your music, I'm on any of those platforms.
Dope.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Yeah, man,
Thank you for
I-
the book as well. I'm gonna start on it tonight.
Happy
No
birthday.
bullshit. Thank you,
I
brother.
appreciate it, man.
And I think to the coronavirus, we're gonna dap up when we leave.
Yeah, elbows or a shoe tap unless you don't
Oh,
have
shoe tap would
if
be
you don't
rough.
have if you have dope shoes on.
I don't care. We can shoot tap.
We can shoot boom.
Yup.
Yeah, no, I like that. Word. All right, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Peace.
Peace.